What's up, this is Josh from CaliforniaThroughMyLens.com, and this is 24 Hours in Pinnacles National Park. Pinnacles National Park is located 2.5 hours south of San Francisco, inland from Monterey and Big Sur. The park was created in January 2013 by President Obama and is home to endangered California condors as well as 13 species of bats in its multiple talus caves. There are 2 entrances to the park and no road that runs through it, so the items in this video will all be from the east entrance. So I made it to Pinnacles National Park at the last campsite available, site number 23. After checking into the campground, this is the first stop. It's Peaks View, and it has these binoculars that let you see the high peaks area, which is one of the most impressive parts of the park. We're at the Gulch Cave parking area. This is my favorite trail in the park. Be sure to get here early because this parking lot fills up fast, and bring a flashlight. Be sure to check what's open because the upper caves are only open like 2 weeks out of the year and the lowers are open like 6 months out of the year. This is not the actual entrance to the cave, it's just a cool little tunnel you get to go through. Make sure you have your flashlight past this point. I love this cave, it's so awesome, and right now it's actually pretty crazy because there's a lot of water in here as well. Do note that there's a bunch of steps you have to climb up in the relative dark, so if you're not okay with that, you don't want to come into this cave. So there's so much water in the cave right now that there's actually a waterfall. Never seen that before. There's like 3 epic waterfalls in here right now. This is the cutoff for upper caves. A little bit of a tight squeeze. That hole is where we just came from. We made it out of the cave portion. There's like a few little caves after this, but that was the main thing. It was so awesome with all the water. There's no one here right now, but this is a really popular area for climbers. This is the Gulch Reservoir. This is what's at the top of the trail that you went through the caves for. And you can either go back the way we came through the caves or take the High Peaks Trail. I'm going back through the caves right now because I don't have enough time for the High Peaks Trail, but here's some shots of the last time I was here going on that trail, which is amazing if you have a chance to do it. So we're back at the split between the caves and the regular trail. This is what you would take when the caves are closed if you want to go to the reservoir. Normally I just hike back through the caves, but I haven't actually been this way before, so I'm going to go this way. This trail gives you a good appreciation for what the caves look like. These aren't the traditional lava tube caves, they're called talus caves and they're formed from rock fall in. You can see all of the different rocks and pieces down there, and that's the caves that we walked up through to get to the reservoir. They double booked my campsite, so I'm actually in the group campground right now. But as you can see, there's no one else here. Got my Subway leftovers, my Gatorade. Good to go. Hopefully we can check out some stars tonight, but if not, I'll see you guys in the morning. Good morning. It has been a cold one. I am packing up the tent right now and all this stuff. I'm gonna warm up in the car and then we're going to the first hike. For day 2 in the park, there's 3 trails you can take that'll give you a great understanding of what Pinnacles National Park has to offer. Trail number 1 is the Balconies Cave trail, which will take you from the old Pinnacles parking area. It's about 5 miles round trip, takes you through the cave that you access from the west side most of the time, goes up to the Balconies Cliff area, which lets you see the high peaks, then comes back on the same flat trail. That's the one that we're gonna go out on today. Trail number 2 is the Bear Gulch, the High Peaks Trail. I talked a little bit about it yesterday, but you go up through the Bear Gulch cave, past the reservoir, go all the way up to the high peaks and then back down to where you parked your car. That trail is about 6.5 miles. There's a decent amount of elevation. I would plan at least 4 to 5 hours for that. Trail number 3, go up through the Bear Gulch cave, go past the reservoir, go all the way to where it splits with the high peaks. You can actually go down the other side to the west parking lot and then come back through the Balconies Caves. That lets you see both of the caves, but it's about 10 miles round trip, and I would definitely ask the park ranger to draw it on your map because it's a little bit confusing if you don't know where you're going. You're gonna want to plan at least a full-ish day for that hike. So let's head out on the Balconies Cave Trail. Do note that this trail has very limited parking, so in the summer you'll need to take a shuttle, and in the summer there's also not much shade and it can get really hot. So we made it to the entrance of Balconies Cave. So just like in Bear Gulch, there's a whole bunch of water running through Balconies Cave as well. There's arrows inside to guide you through the cave. This is the final push out of the cave. It's obviously not very long, but it's still pretty cool. So we made it out of Balconies Cave. It takes about 15 minutes to get through there. Be sure you have a flashlight. You can see where we just came out of right now. This is the second part of Balconies Cave, but you don't really need much of a flashlight for this. You can already see the end. It's a little narrow. Made it out of the top part of Balconies Cave. That ends our time in the cave. On the way back, connect with the Balconies Cliffs trail. It'll loop you back around to where you started with the cave, but it gives you a beautiful view, a little bit of elevation. This is the top of the elevation on the Balconies Cliffs trail. You can see the high peaks just a little bit in the distance, but it's a pretty cool trail. It gives you a different perspective than going through the caves. If you have a chance, you can go by the Bear Gulch Nature Center, but I've actually never been here when it's been open. If you have time before heading out, go to the Bacon Ranch, which is a 1/4 mile trail from the Visitor Center to an old historic ranch. Most of the buildings here are from non-irrigated dry farming the family did in the mid-1800s. One thing to note when you visit Pinnacles National Park is that this area was not designed to be a national park, so the roads are very small, some are even one lane. A lot of the parking areas are also really small with 10 to 15 spots max. If you come here during the busy times, there'll usually be shuttles for you so you can park near the visitor center and then shuttle out to the areas. If you want to actually park your car though, you're going to want to get to the places really early. Thanks for exploring Pinnacles National Park with me. Be sure to like and subscribe and check out CaliforniaThroughMyLens.com for more.